Look, guys, since we're diving into dark territory today, things are definitely going to cross the line. If you're faint of heart, tread carefully. I'll be discussing a lot of dark anime, so be prepared for some mild spoilers. If you're not ready for that, click away right now. With that said, let's get into the top anime that are just too dark to watch. Berserk. There's no way you haven't heard of this one. It's widely considered the greatest manga of all time. When you first start watching it, it feels like a standard vintage anime. You've got horses, soldiers, armor, and swords. But slowly, you realize that absolutely nothing about it is normal. The plot, the characters, the music, everything is so flawlessly executed that you will literally feel the darkness. Even if you put the extreme brutality and nudity aside, the events that unfold will make you think, okay, this is going way beyond just being dark. They don't call it the GOAT of dark anime for nothing. Monster. This is a masterpiece of a psychological thriller. Our main character is Dr. Tenma, a surgeon who saves a young boy's life. But he was completely unaware that this wasn't just any kid. This boy views the world through a terrifyingly different lens. He has the cunning experience of a 60-year-old man and actually enjoys crushing people like ants. Human life means absolutely zero to him. Even with a gun to his head, he'll just point a finger at his own skull and challenge death itself. You might be wondering why this anime is called Monster. Well, because he is the monster. And Dr. Tenma, the man who gave this monster a second chance at life, must now hunt him down to save the world from his terror. Another. This horror thriller starts off seemingly normal, but as you progress episode by episode, the real show begins. Freak accidents, suicides, bizarre murders, you name it. The further you watch, the more confusing and twisted it gets. Even when you reach the very last episode, you still won't be able to guess who the real culprit is. Perfect Blue. This movie is a dark masterpiece by the legendary director Satoshi Kon. It will completely shake you up, not just because of the story, but because of Kon's god-tier directing. Every single frame has a deeper meaning. For example, there's a scene where Mima's stalker is watching her perform on stage. The camera focuses entirely on Mima, while everything else in the background is blurred. It perfectly illustrates his obsession. She is the only thing he sees, and the rest of the world is just background noise. The story is packed with so many psychological twists that after a while, you'll be questioning what's reality and what's a dream. Uzumaki. This is hands down the creepiest manga I've ever read. Uzumaki is a 1998 cosmic horror story, and I am super hyped for the anime. The word Uzumaki literally translates to spiral. The plot revolves around a village infected by a curse that triggers bizarre, unnatural events. People develop an insane obsession with spiral shapes. Sometimes, a character's hair twists into massive spirals. Sometimes, spirals carve themselves into people's skulls. And sometimes, it gets so bad that spirals grow on people's backs, morphing them into giant human snails. Even when people commit suicide, their bodies contort into spiral shapes. As the story progresses, it reveals an entirely different dimension where everything is shaped like a spiral. I subjected myself to all this horrifying stuff just to make this video, so smash that like button. And share this so people finally realize anime isn't just for kids. Alright, back to the list. Midori, Shoujo Tsubaki. Honestly, I highly recommend you just don't watch this one. It is one of the most disturbing and heavily banned anime in the world. I still regret watching it. Calling it dark is a massive understatement. It crosses boundaries that shouldn't be crossed. My problem is that I don't forget things easily, and the imagery from this movie keeps flashing in my head. It was a complete mind fuck. If extreme gore and violence don't bother you, maybe you can stomach it, but it is packed with brutal 18+ scenes that can genuinely mess with your mental health. So, steer clear. Don't try to be a tough guy. I will praise its animation though. It's designed so effectively that the scenes might actually make you want to throw up. Hellsing Ultimate. This is one of the greatest dark anime I've ever seen, and I recommend it to everyone. The story follows the Hellsing organization, a group dedicated to wiping out vampires. But the massive twist? Their ultimate weapon and most powerful soldier is a vampire himself. Alucard. The visual style is totally unique. 90% of the show takes place in the dark, which amps up the sinister vibe. On top of that, the main character is an absolute psycho. Once he loses his temper, he delivers agonizing, brutal deaths to his enemies that you can't even fathom. The blend of its dark themes and fluid animation gives it a terrifyingly gorgeous look. Death Note. A 17-year-old genius finds a notebook where simply writing someone's name causes them to die. Initially, he uses this demonic power with good intentions to help humanity, but slowly, a god complex starts growing inside him. The boy who wanted to rid the world of criminals and bring justice becomes so consumed by the Death Note's power that he doesn't even realize he's become the world's biggest criminal himself. To stop this self-proclaimed god of the new world, another monster of justice steps into the ring. Their mind games uncover massive secrets, insane plot twists, and leave piles of bodies in their wake. The suspense in every single episode will have your heart racing. Don't worry, you won't actually get a heart attack. Junji Ito Collection, Tomie. Junji Ito is a legendary manga artist known for his terrifying horror works, and Tomie is one of his most iconic. The story is about a girl named Tomie, who is incredibly gorgeous, but incredibly arrogant. The dark twist kicks in when she is murdered. In every chapter, she comes back to life in a new body, using her supernatural beauty to manipulate men. She drives them so completely insane that they inevitably end up murdering her with their own hands all over again. As the story progresses, Tomie becomes even more beautiful, and her deaths become even more gruesome. There are also 2 special anime episodes based on this. Again, consider yourself warned. It's incredibly weird and unsettling. Junji Ito Collection, The Human Chair. Another entry from the Junji Ito universe. This one doesn't rely on extreme gore or bloody visuals. Instead, the core concept itself is deeply psychological and disturbing. It manages to impress you and give you terrified goosebumps at the exact same time. I'm not going to spoil too much about it right now because I'll be making a dedicated video explaining this specific story very soon. So, those were the anime that are just too dark to watch. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, share it with your friends, and please take those trigger warnings seriously. That's all for today. Arigato. If you think you can handle the really dark details, let me know in the comments which one of these you want a complete explanation video for. Don't hold back, drop the name below, and I'll break down the most requested one in my next video.